This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. Today, we're going to be discussing about some more functions in SQL queries. So, the functions are called date and time functions. We have get date and date difference and date part, date name, and day function, month function, year function, and the date add and end of month. These functions are heavily used, so let us understand one by one today. Okay, let me open these functions in detail. Let me go to date and time functions. Okay, the first function that we're going to start now is that get date function. It returns the current date and time from the system. So the first function is what? The first function is called get date. Okay, so get date will give you, this function will give you the current date and time from the system. So select get date, select get date. Function means you need to add this kind of a braces at the end. Clear? So when you add this kind of a braces at the end, this is what is called a function. So when you execute this, you should be able to get today's date and time. So this is the today's date and time. So there is no column name. You can say as today's date. You can execute this. So if you need yesterday's date, the same function can be used, but you have to say -1. So this will be yesterday's date. Okay, yesterday's date. So you can see the difference here 20 and it's 19. If you wanted to see tomorrow's date, so +1, you can use like this. Am I clear? So this function is going to be returning date and a time. So you need to understand clearly. So date YYY and and DD and hours hours and minutes, seconds, dot milliseconds. Clear? So get date function is going to be giving you the data till milliseconds. Right? 1 second equals to 1000 milliseconds. It is not 60, right? 1 second equals to 1000 milliseconds. So it is not 60 milliseconds. Clear? So you need to understand. So whenever you see this data, it will give you till milliseconds. So you have a difference in milliseconds, right? Today's, what is the time now? It is 6:40, 11 seconds, 7:47 milliseconds. So there is a difference always you can see in the milliseconds, a dot, okay? It is colon, colon, and a dot. So this is the format in which it is going to be displaying the data. Clear? So now, where exactly we are going to be using the get date function? Let us explain one by one. For example, I wanted to print, I wanted to print, transaction date as today's date. Clear? So whenever you do a transaction in the bank, we are not going to provide the date, right? But how the transaction date is taken as today's date? So there is a default value in that column. There is a default value in that column. So we never enter the date and time value whenever you take the cash deposit, cash withdrawal in the bank, right? Automatically, the column will be having a date. So how the date is taken? So in that column, there is a default value. The default value will be supplied with the help of get date function. Am I clear? So now, if you wanted to print, for example, select account ID, comma name, comma C balance. So from account to master. So I'm going to be printing you some data like this. So I wanted to print and as on this date, for example, what I do? I'll say like this. So I'll execute something like this. What is the meaning of this? So as on this date, this is the balance. Clear? So as on this date, this is the balance these people are maintaining. So if you wanted to print a constant value, so this is not a column coming from the database. This is not a column coming from the database. So this is a function that we can use. So we can also have any constants as well, right? So you can give a constant. For example, I would like to print currency. I would like to print lot of other things like that. We can also print a get date, or something like this as on. So the C balance and everything as on this date. Sometimes the government of India wanted to know the complete customer's data as on some date. Clear? So this data will be supplied by the banks, to the government of India. So they need to print the date as well. So if they wanted to print the date, so this will be used. Clear? So I wanted to print get date in different formats. Clear? So now we were printing like this, right? I wanted to print in different formats, different styles. So for that purpose, we have to use a convert function. We can say select convert, right? Select convert. So always you need to use data type. So varchar or nvarchar, anything you can use. You should be able to use your function date and time column. If you don't mention any style number, so this is the style by default you're going to be seeing, right? So if you wanted to have some other style means, if you wanted to have different style means, already we discussed, you must use style number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you will see the data in different formats. So this is the next style, right? You can have different styles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can give different styles, but only the difference is here we are not going to get the year number in 4 digits. Okay, this is year number YY, month number, and date is 20. Okay, so here it is month number, it is a day, and it is year number. So you should be able to see year number in 2 digits. If you wanted to have year number in 4 digits, then I told you instead of 1 2, you must use 101, 102, something like that. Okay, and you will be able to get different date and time styles. Now you see the data, copy this and paste it there. Right. So different countries will have different styles, right? Somebody needs YYY.mm/DD. In India, we're going to be using DD/mm/YYY. So if you wanted to get 4 year number, 4 digit year number, you must use 101, 102, 103, 104, up to I think 121 or 127. I don't remember, but you keep on checking that. Okay. So if you wanted to have only two, digits year number, then you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay. So we know this function already. Convert function can be used only for this purpose. And the style number is not mandatory, which is optional. This is what style number from 1 to 125. You will be able to get y by. From 101 to 121, you may get y like this. Okay. Style number is not mandatory parameter, which is optional parameter. The next one is date diff function, which is very important function. The first function is get date. The next function I wanted to introduce now is date diff function, which is very important. Let us understand what is this function all about. It returns difference between two dates in terms of days, months, weeks, years, etc. It takes three parameters. So I wanted to find out the date, difference between two dates. Okay. So let me say select date difference. I wanted to get the difference in years, YY, and supply date number one, 20, let us say 19, March 23rd, comma, get date. Let me take today's date. What is the difference between this date minus this date? Difference means minus, right? So date 2, this is date 1. Okay, I wanted to see the difference between this one. So date 1 is this is date 1, right? And this is the date 2. So always date 2 minus date 1 will happen. The difference is 2 years. Okay, if you wanted to know what is the difference between this and this, but I need the difference in months, so you need to say so you will be able to find out 22 months is the difference. If you wanted to know how many quarters is the difference, you should be able to find out these many 8 quarters is the difference. I wanted to know how many weeks is the difference, WW. So between these due dates, then 96 weeks is the difference. Clear? I wanted to know how many days, exact days difference between these two dates. You can say DD as well, or dates. Clear? So 669 days is the difference. Clear? I wanted to know how many months, days, weeks, and you can have whatever. How many hours is the difference? So the difference between these two dates, hours means 16,062. How many minutes is difference? Minute means MIN. Okay? Or you can say it minute. So when you say these many minutes are difference, clear? I wanted to know how many seconds are difference between this date and this date. Clear? I wanted to know these many seconds difference. I wanted to know how many milliseconds difference between this date and this date. Date 2 minus date 1 will happen. Date 2 minus date 1 will happen. Clear? So when I put like this, it is telling me it is a bigger number. Overflow means it is a bigger number, milliseconds. So I cannot get that. Okay. So that's what it is telling you. Try to use the date div with different parameter. Less precision date parts. Clear? It is very bigger number. I cannot give, but it can give you till seconds. That is the beauty about it. So I wanted to know what is my age. Okay. So what is my age? If somebody asks me this question and I can tell SQL Server to find it out, what is my age? You have to supply your age in this in single quotes. Okay. For example, I am born in 1990, let us say August 1st. Clear? And what is my age? I wanted to know in years. If this is your age, you wanted to know, and your age is so 31 years. You can say it is your age. That's it. Very simple. So always this date minus this date will happen. You can also hard code this. If you wanted to know, you can give any other date. For example, 2020, say, June and 21st. So this date to this date, I wanted to know date 2 minus date 1 will happen. I need the difference between these two dates in terms of months or years or whatever you wanted to have it. Quarters, clear? So you can say like this. So only 1 year is the difference. Clear? So this is what is my age. So I wanted to know what is the what is the age of each account. What is the age of the each account? So I can simply write select account ID, account ID, comma name, comma C balance, and a date of opening an account, right? So with the help of that, So you should be able to get the DO, but what I need, I wanted to have the age. That's what is very, very important. Okay, all these, things are very, very important. Clear? So now I wanted to know what is my age. So what is the age of each account? We can say the same thing here. So you can just paste it here. Instead of this, you simply write DOO. That's it. Okay, it is not my age, age of each account, age of account. So how the execution is going to be happening? It is going to be taking this date and putting it here, and this date minus this date will happen. Then it will go to the next row. Take this, and it's going to be keeping it here. Then this date minus this date will happen. Then it will go to the next row. Row by row execution is going to happen. Clear? So I wanted to find out what is the age. So 1 year old account, 1 year, 2 years old account, 3 years old account, 10 years old account. Have you seen this? And we don't have any account which is opened in the current year. Current year means which is 2021. Let me update something. Update account master, set date of opening is equivalent to, let me put get date. Can we put like this? Why not? Okay, where account ID is equivalent to, let me do it for this guy, 107. 107 updated. Now let me execute this query. You should be able to find out this is, age of account is, it is, 0 years. 0 years means current year account. Like that, you can modify some things, right? So 135, 134, 135, 137. Okay, you can also hard code some value if you want to hard code it. Say 2021. Okay, say Jan, let us say second. Okay, lot of data also you can hard code it. Now I wanted to understand which are the accounts opened in the current year. So wherever it is a zero, wherever it is zero, let me add these numbers 153, 153, 154. 155. Some data I'm just adding it, okay? 156. Okay. I wanted to know which are the accounts opened in the current year. So that is also one more query people may ask you. I wanted to know what are the accounts opened in the current month or current year. So list out the accounts opened in the current year. List out the accounts. Okay, list out the accounts opened in the current year. So what you need to do, you need to take the same query. You have to eliminate the data with the help of a where clause where blah 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 is equivalent to zero. Is equivalent to zero. If you're having with zero, that means these accounts have been opened in the current year. Have you seen this? All these accounts have been opened in the current year. If you wanted to know, so when you execute like this, 1 year means it is 2020, last year opened accounts. The same question is asked in IBM's interview. So how do you find out people who are born in the last year? Current year means this, last year means It will be 1. So you need to give date of birth column, some date of year, date of birth, some column will be there. You need to mention who are the people who have resigned last year, who are the people who have joined the current year. So joined current year means date of joining column has to be there in the table. Resign, date of resignation will be there in the table. Date of joining, date of admission, date of payment. Who are the people who paid in the last month? Who are the people who paid in the current month? Who are the people who paid in the current year, last year? If you wanted to do all these things, means you need to use this one only. Clear? So these are the guys who opened the accounts in the last year. 2 years back means two. These are the guys who have opened accounts in the 2 years back. So these are the people who have opened the accounts in the current year. Clear? And these are the people who have opened the accounts in the last year. And I wanted to know who are the people who are opened accounts in the current month, not current year, current month. Current month means what? You need to do MM. Clear? You have to say current month means MM 0. So month difference should be 0. Clear? So all these guys have opened in the this current month, guys. Okay, last month means December. Last month means what? December. You need to go for 1. So current month is this last month. Let me execute the same query below and show you. Last month. Last month, unfortunately, nobody is there. Let me update some data here. Okay, let me update 2020 December 10th for 158th guy, and December 14th for 159th customer. Okay, these two people have opened the accounts in the last month. Have you seen this? 158 and 159. So it is the age is 1 month, December 2020. Clear? It is very, very easy with the help of date diff function. Current year, current month, last month, current quarter. Who are the people who opened accounts in the current quarter? Current quarter means we have to come and put QQ here and put 0. Current quarter. Okay. Current month. Today, who are the people who opened accounts today? Today means what? You need to put DD. Current quarter means this. Okay. Let me open this. People may ask you, who are the students who made the payment today? Who opened today? Please have the accounts opened today. You have to say DD is equivalent to 0. That's it. Clear? So who these are the people who have done the transactions today. So transaction today. Yesterday means you need to put 1 and make sure you're putting a DD here. Last month means MM. Last quarter means QQ and 1. Current quarter means QQ 0. Okay, so all these things can be answered very, very easily. Instead of this, you can simply put star as well. There's no problem. Okay, so who are the people who opened accounts today? So who are the people? Yesterday means nobody. Today means somebody. There are a lot of students who have opened the accounts in the current day or today. Clear? So all these things can be achieved with the help of date difference function. Clear? Date diff function. So it will give you the difference between two dates. It is heavily used. It will take three parameters. Parameter number one, parameter number two, parameter number three. So these are the parameters, or we can call them as arguments. Clear? Argument number one. Argument means you need to supply them, and argument number 2, argument number 3. Parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3. Clear? Parameters or arguments. The next one, let us discuss. So find out the customers who have opened accounts in the last week. Last week means WW and 1. Current week means 0. Clear? So all these things you should know. This one. Find out the customers who have opened accounts today. So DD and 0. Clear? What is the age of the each account in our bank? So we need to use data of opening an account DOO and age in years. That's it, nothing else. So, how many customers opened accounts in the last 3 years? This is very good question. People have asked in one of the interview. So, this is the question. The question is very, very simple. The question is very, very simple. What is the question? The question is how many customers opened how many customers opened accounts in the last 3 years? So if you write equals to 3, it is completely wrong. Why? It will give you only 3 years back data. But I wanted to know last 3 years. You need to compulsorily give less than or equals to, because last 3 years means you need to take from current year as well, current year, before year, and the previous year, something like this. We should not give only three. Exactly three means 3 years back data, but they need a last 3 years. Last 3 years means you're supposed to use lesser than or equals to. Clear? So this is very, very important. Now, which is now. The next one is date part function, which is a very, very important function. It is one more function. I wanted to talk about this function now. The next function is date part function. I wanted to know what is the part of, what is the part that you wanted to have them. For example, so date means you have a lot of things, year number, month number, day number, week number, quarter number. What is the part that you need? I need only the year. You need to say date part. You will be able to see date part YY and date. Only the year number will be shown to you. I wanted to know what is the month number. Only that number will be given to you. What is the month number? Month number is 4. I wanted to know what is the quarter number. Quarter means we're in April. What is the quarter number? Quarter number in we are in the second quarter. So you need to say quarter number in this. Clear? So whatever you wanted to give, you need to supply the date and which part of the date you need. Do you need only year number? Then you need to write YY. Do you need only the quarter number? You need to write QQ. I need only the day number, not everything. So you should be able to write day number. I need the month number. I need the year number. I need the quarter number. I need the week number. What is the week? April, 18th means what is the week number that you wanted to get it? Week number is 16th week. Clear? So 16th week is going on. So April month. So a lot of things you can get it. So this is a very, very important thing. Clear? So whatever you wanted to have it, you can have them like this. We are going to use date part. Date part will give you only the part of the date, not complete date. Now I wanted to know, so these are pretty much easy functions. Let me explain one by one. So instead of this date must be given in single quotes. Remember that. Without this, it is not going to work. But get date is a function. It must not be in the single quotes. I wanted to get the current day. Current day means it is going to give you only this. Current day is what? It is 20 in India, right? So it is a current month. If you want to get the current month, so this is current month is January. I wanted to know what is the current year. So current year is 2021. Current week. So if somebody asks you, how do you get current week, current month, current year number? So you need to mention like this: 4. Current hour. So what is the current hour? It is 7 morning, 7 o'clock, right? Seventh hour. Then we have current minute. Current minute. We have sixth. So you can use the get date function to find out the current year, current month, current day. current date part function, we will be able to ask a lot of questions like this. For example, people may ask you, I wanted to know year-wise, total balance or number of customers, number of accounts opened. Okay, year-wise number of accounts opened. So I wanted to go to my table and I wanted to know year-wise. Year-wise means I have to use DOO in the group by clause. Year-wise. Wise means group by. So I need year. What is the meaning? So sorry. I need to say date part YY and DOO. Clear? So this is the one. It is going to be taking only year and it is grouping it together. So if you have 2010 data one side, 2011 data one more side, and whatever that is there in the group by clause has to be there in the selected clause. This will give you year number, comma. I wanted to know number of accounts in that month opened. So in that year opened, so when executed, in 2011, 33 accounts been opened, 2013 only one account been opened, 2018 two accounts, 2019 one, 2020 18 accounts, 2021 8 accounts, 2021 9 accounts. If you want order by first column, you can have like this. If you wanted to have in the descending order, you should be able to say this first column in the descending order. Okay, so this is how you should be able to find out year wise number of accounts have been opened. Clear? You can remove this. Year wise number of accounts have been opened. So something like this, you should be able to get it. People may ask you year wise, not number of accounts here. Instead of this, they wanted to know sum of C balance. What is the balance year wise? As you can execute like this. This is the total amount collected in this year. So this is the total amount collected in this year because these people have opened the accounts in that year and this was the amount as on that year. Clear? So like that you can have any aggregate function year wise they need the calculations. If they need calculations, you can go like this. If you need only the year number, if you wanted to print only the year number, so we can have like this. Account ID, name, and see balance and as year number. Okay. Now I wanted to get the data based on this year. So this accounts have been opened in 2020 year. So these accounts have been opened in this year. These accounts have been opened in this year. People may ask you, I wanted to know who are the or list the customers who opened accounts in 2011 when somebody gives you the data, so they wanted to know in 2011 how many people have opened the accounts. So you need to go to where clause, take the same thing here, and you can say is equivalent to 2011. You need to hard code it. Clear? So I wanted to know who are the people who have opened accounts in 2011 means this is the query. Okay, but who are the people who have opened in the current year, last year means you better go in for the date diff function. That will give you the better performance and easy syntax as well. Clear? So who are the people who opened accounts today, current month, last month, current year? So all these things you need to use date diff. But if somebody asks you who are the people who have opened accounts in the 2010, 2011, if they tell you, hard coded date. So 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, something like that. You must be able to use a date part function only. You cannot use date diff function here. Last year, current year. For that purpose, you can use date diff function and get the date. Okay, you must give do and get date. If it is equals to 0, then it is a current year. So last year means 1. So that data you can who are the people who have opened accounts in the 2011 or who are the people who have opened accounts in 2020. So they are asking like this. 2020 means you need to hard code the date. Okay. But you cannot say last year. Last year means we are in 2021. Last year will be 20. If you're in 25, what would be the last year? 24, right? So you cannot say who are the people who have opened accounts in the last 5 days, last 5 days or last year, last 10 days. So something like this, if you want to write it, definitely you must use date diff function. Who are the people who have opened in the last month? Since we are in January, last month would be December. If you're in April, last month would be March. So for all those things, you must use a date diff function. Current month, last month, last week, current quarter, you must use. But if somebody says, who are the people who have opened accounts on 21st? Okay, 21st. Then they are giving a clear cut date. So then you need to give the 21st date. Am I clear? So date part. So the people may ask you like this also. They wanted to know who are the people who list the customers who opened accounts in April 2020. April 2020 means so this will be 2020 data and you have to say month is April. We have to say month is April. Clear? So year is 2020, month is April. So they wanted to know list the customers who opened accounts in the April 2020. So this is the query. I have only one guy who has opened. You can see DO. So this guy is opened the data in this. Now you see this data. April 12th, he has opened the account. Have you seen this? If somebody asks you like this, list the customers who opened accounts in April 2020, or they may ask you 13th April, or they may ask you, let us say this 12th, right? 12th April 2020 means this will 2020 April. Then you need to write one more clause like this, and DD is equivalent to 12. Clear? So year is number is 20 and the month number is 4 and day number is 12. 12th April 2020. Who are the guys who have opened? So this is the query. You should be able to write or we can also write the same query in this manner as well. So what is the manner? It is very, very simple. You can say DOO, date of opening is equivalent to, you can say in single quotes, 2020, April 12th. So this is also one more thing you can achieve. Clear? So you should be able to get, but it is not recommended. Why? I will explain now. It is not recommended. It is working now. There is no problem, right? So whether you execute this query or this query, both of them are working fine. So there is no problem at all. I strongly recommend this query. I don't recommend this kind of a query. Why? I will tell you. For example, let me take one more data. For example, I wanted to know who are the people who opened accounts today. So what is today's date? Today's date is 21st. Okay. According to my computer, it is first, 21st, and it is 20. So I wanted to know. So this is the query somebody asked. What is the query? The question is this question. So list the customers who opened accounts in 20 Jan 2021. This is the question. So I have given Jan 2021. So will I get any data? I should be able to get some data, right? We have inserted a lot of data there. Am I getting any data now? I'm not getting any data, but we have some data. So instead of this, I'm going to take this query and let us modify it. Okay. So this is the query. You can also write. I'm saying 2021, January means 1, and I'm writing 20. Clear? Let me execute it. I should be able to see some data there. Clear? Both of them are mathematics wise, it is correct. But I had seen correct data. So 2021 January and 20, there are four records I'm able to get it. But when I'm writing this query, I'm not getting anything. Do you know why? I'll tell you what is the issue here. The issue, if you observe carefully, you are storing not only the date but also time. See this carefully. You are storing a date but also time. When you store a date and a time, okay, you need to supply here date plus time as well. If you don't supply, you know what it is taking as? This will be taking as like this. It will be taking as 000 00 00 and 00. So when you supply like this, the meaning is this. Okay. So this is not able to catch this because even though the date is matching, the time is not matching because you're not specifying the time. If you don't specify the time anything, the time will be taken as 00000. We never specify the time here. It is going to compare not only the year, month, date, but the remaining portion of the things also will get compared. Since I'm storing lot of date and time format, so this is matching, the remaining portion is not matching. Clear? So it is not matching, it is not getting any data. Clear? So hence what we need to do, we have to always compare only the these three things, remaining date and time. Time we should not compare. So the previous one is working fine. Why the previous one is working fine? If you see carefully, previous one is storing the date and time as 0000. Have you seen this? It is storing the remaining portion is 00000. Okay, when it is storing 00, then there is no problem because when you supply like this, remaining portion will be 000. It is working fine. It is able to give you the data. Clear? Because the remaining time is in 00 hours, 00 minutes, 00 seconds, and 000 milliseconds. When you have all zeros, this format will work. But if it is not all zero, then this will fail to get the data. I strongly recommend to use this. If somebody says, I wanted to know who are the people who opened accounts in 13th of April 2021. If they give particular time, hard coded date means you have to supply like this. You need to write the query in this manner, but not in this manner. If it is having 0000 in the table, then this query will work. Otherwise, this query will not work. So this is not recommended. Clear? It is not recommended. So this is very, very important. So people may ask me, I wanted to get the day name. I wanted to get the month name. Can we get the month name? So you will not be able to get the month name. So month number will be given when you use this one. I wanted to give month. Current month number it's going to be getting, but not the January, February, something like this. I wanted to have it. So how do I do that? For that purpose, we have one more function, that is what is called date name function. Clear? The date name function is available here, so you can use this function to get the names of the dates. Okay, it will take two arguments, date name. It returns the name of the day or the month. It always returns the string value. It takes two arguments. For example, let us say select month comma get date. Okay, I wanted to know what is the month name. Now when you execute it, select, sorry, date name, right? This is the function name, date name. So I wanted to know what is the month name. Month name is January. Have you seen this? But if you say date part, when you say date part here, you are going to be getting a month number. Month number is one. If you need a month name, this is a month number, right? So you must use date name. Clear? So date name can be used. I wanted to get day number. So you must use DD to get the day number, date part. Okay. I wanted to know date name, but if I say DD, will I get? I am not able to get the day name. So day number only will be given. But if you need name, you need to say DW, day of the week, it will give you day name. Clear? So you need to use this format. So today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So instead of that, you can supply any other dates. For example, I wanted to take this in which day these accounts been opened. Select star, comma this, okay, from the account master table. You can see in which day these accounts been opened. Okay, this is open on Wednesday. Wednesday, when okay, this is get day, right? Sorry, put DOO. Okay, let me execute this. So it is going to be telling Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. So all the accounts have been opened on these days. So I wanted to know what are the accounts have been opened on Sunday. Okay, so where same thing you must be able to take and put them here and you write Sunday. Okay, Sunday may be working day for a lot of branches in India. So these many, these people have opened accounts on the Sunday. Clear? So like that you should be able to get the data with the help of date name, DWDO on Sunday. Clear? So like that you should be able to get a lot of data. Date part and date name are the two different functions. Okay, in India we also have year name, right? In some of calendars, so we have year names as well. Year number is there in only English, but in Indian's calendar we have year number, year name as well. And India follow some different names for Jan, Feb, March. I wanted to get those kind of things. For that purpose, so you need to create your own table. You need to create your own table, and you should be able to get the data from there. By default you will not be able to get the data. For example, I wanted to print a sales of something. For example, in India we have a what is the sales of the cloth in month of Ashadam. So Ashadam is one of the month, one of the month for the shopping malls in India. So they call them as, for example, July, August will be Ashadam. So we need to create a separate calendar to get the sales of that month. Clear? We have different year names as well, but in English calendar we don't have like this. Probably in African calendars you may have year number, year name, right? Month number, month name, and a day number, day name. In India we have year number and year name as well. So I wanted to print out that. So there is no ready-made, stuff like that in SQL Server or Oracle. You have to create your own calendar, and you need to create your own table. So in that you need to mention, so what is the year number, say 2020, what is the year name, and what is the month number, what is the month name in your own words. For example, in India, January means it is something different. So and February means we have something different. We have Chaitram, Vaishakam, Jyestam, something like this. Different things are available in India's calendar. Clear? In Roman calendar we have something. If English calendar you may have something. In French people, they may call January as something else, right? So they may have different names altogether. I wanted to print those things means you have to create a different calendar. So, and use the calendar. So you need to create a calendar means you need to create a separate table. Clear? So that you should be able to use that. So if you remember, so I was talking about a dim date timetable. Have you seen this? So dim timetable, I was calling in our SSAS. People who are studying SSAS, they can understand this. In this, we had a table called dim timetable. When you execute it, I had full date, year number, semester number, quarter number, and January. And this is the Telugu month name. January means Pausham, right? So I was using February means Magham. So March means in Falgunam. Like this, I was using lot of Telugu Indian month names. All these are right. So May means Vaishakam, June means Jastam. So in many Indians, or traders, 'cause they wanted to know what is the sales happened in Jastam or what is the sales happened in Shravanam. So Shravanam means it is October. Something like this. They will ask you what is the sales happened in this month. So they don't ask you November. They'll give you this. So when you compare, you know this with this, now we'll come to know. Otherwise, you don't know, right? So you need to ask Kartika means which month according to the Indian calendar. So this is the month. So this is the month. So this is the month that they should know. So if you know, anybody has different, months or different years, then you need to follow a different timetable. You need to create them, and you can use this and get the table. For example, I wanted to know where English month name. Okay, English month name September. If I say what is the English month name is September, what is the equal month name? If you when you say execute this, so for September it is called as something else in India. So this is the name of the month in India. This is the name of month in the English calendar. So like something like this. We can also give what is the name of the year. So I don't have the column, but you can have year number, year name also available in India, right? So you can have the year name as well in this calendar so that you can use this calendar to refer at to print something. Clear? So these types of the calendars are normally created in the data warehousing environment. So you can have a calendar. So for French, calendar for Europe, calendar for India, calendar for America, calendar for Gulf countries, because Gulf countries follow different calendars, right? So all these things. So it's very, very important, guys. Am I clear? So we have date part and date name. So these are the things we have completed. And tomorrow we can do some more things. We had two more functions, date add and end of month. These are the two things we'll discuss tomorrow. It is very, very important that you should know, you should study date and time functions very well. Lot of questions are asked in the interview, right? What is get date? What is date diff? What is date part? What is the name? Right? Day and a month and year functions and a date add end of month. We'll see tomorrow's in tomorrow's class. Any questions, guys?